My favorite part about this boat?
What's up?
The rubber.
It's plastic. What?
Oh, it's rubber. You know, because people run into stuff. It's smart.
1997, from Pennsylvania to here in West Michigan. This boat hasn't been on the water since 2013. It was bought, they used it, and then it sat for a while. They're ready to get back on the water, so that's what we're gonna do, is help them get it there. It's a fishing style boat. As you can see, the low rails in front. Some people love these, some people hate them. We're gonna keep it a fishing style, but then we're gonna add in some modern features like new railings. We are gonna, for the first time, we're gonna cut one of the pontoon stuff doors, front door that looks like that. We're gonna actually cut that down to allow for a trolling motor to stick out the front. This is about 20 foot long, 8 foot wide, new everything on this one. Brand new 75 Suzuki. Let's hop in, just take a look around, and then we'll show you all we're gonna do along the way. Come on. Fishing seats up front. Live well. You know, this was a really common thing on a lot of boats for years.
Oh, wow.
When you make stuff out of plywood.
That's really peeing.
Yeah, so that's what happens when you don't cover.
Oh, don't do that though, because I don't want to take it off all wet.
Anywho, sink. Another thing they did in a lot of boats, these sinks, and no one ever used them. No one ever wants them back in their boat. This one will be gone. Seats they're starting to go. You got rips and tears in the common places. Little flip-flop seat for the helm. We'll go to a nice big helm seat, reclining helm chair. But as you can see, fishing layout, almost 100%, little bit of lounger. We're gonna redo this with a full sun deck, make it fishing friendly, lithium battery for the trolling motor, nice brand new trolling motor. Can't wait to show you what it's gonna look like when we're done with this one. And it's getting warm. It's like 70 degrees here today. Just not a common thing, but that means spring's coming. We gotta get some boats done. Let's go. Know at any second a little mouth will go.
Yeah. It sure is. I'm gonna get you reacting to it.
I'll stale.
Shut up. I think you should go in the back. In the back and look in some of those compartments back there. There he is. He's on the trailer. No, he just went in the trailer. He literally went in the trailer.
You think that's the same one or a different one?
He had a white belly, like the other one.
Did you name him yet?
No, I'm not. I'm gonna name him. He's in the trailer. Where did he come from?
Super similar to a lot of projects we've done in the past. We're gonna get rid of the cutout that was in front of the motor, wasted deck space, and we're gonna slide the transom back. Going to a 75 horsepower motor on here. This is why we do this, not just to get floor space, but getting the motor back is gonna give us a little bit better trim response, getting it back behind the pontoons, and it's gonna get it into cleaner running water typically from the water coming off of the outer pontoons. Creates this kind of crazy wavy thing. Yeah, I've stuck my head underneath the boat while we're going fast, but it does this crazy water turbulent thing, and that can throw water down just at the point behind the pontoons where a bigger motor is if you're going fast enough. That's another reason that we do this. Should get that prop back into good clean water and make the boat run better all around. Faster, more trim, and again, less ventilation issues. I'm gonna tear this thing apart. Transoms moved back, ended up adding a 1/4 inch 2x2 and an 1/8 inch 2x2. I just gotta run to the hardware store, but I'm gonna bolt those together in a few places, right, 3, to keep this as one really solid rigid piece so it can't twist or move, and that's gonna take load off of these. There's a nice reinforced piece. I love this on a transom. It's just channel, it's pretty structural, pretty sound. It's gonna extend forward and catch more bolts and more cross members and just take the load off of the transom itself, reduces bounce, makes everything way sturdier. Now I'm gonna head out and acid wash these pontoons. I hit it with muriatic acid, get that at Home Depot, and then I use a Purple Power aluminum brightener. You're gonna love what they look like. Get a quick before and then after. That's how we do our trolling motor door. Quick little hack. You can do this if you're replacing the paneling, that fence panel on your boat, and you don't want to deal with that bottom lip. You could cut that lip off, and then we capped it with a really small little piece of angle aluminum. It's 1/16 inch thick, about a half inch, and then it's riveted on the bottom. So what you're gonna see in the front is this, tight fit up and no sharp edge. That's why I riveted that across. That would leave a really sharp edge. Even if you riveted the panel to this D channel, it's actually flat on the back, filled in, this accent bar, they're flat. There's aluminum back there to rivet into, something to keep note of. Let's put this on the front and show you what it looks like over top of the trolling motor. Just wrapped everything up. This boat is heading over to get a full mooring cover. We don't do those here. We did seat covers for it. But again, I get emails, people asking about seat covers. We only do them locally. Got to have the boat, even on the pontoon stuff, fence and seats. We got to have it here. So look at your local upholstery shop, wherever you are in the country, to get seat covers made like we do. This is that 1997 Monark. Totally different boat. You would never guess this is the same boat. Let's walk through the outside features, including all this fun stuff up front, the new motor, then we'll jump in and show you the inside. Come on. Haven't seen one of these on a project we've done yet, have you? This is a 24 volt designed specifically to be able to use with lithium batteries, and we'll get to that in a second. This boat is gonna get docked where it doesn't have shore power to charge the battery. The lithium that we put in is a single unit 24 volt, 80 amp hour from Amped Outdoors. Love those batteries, I run it on my own boat. But you don't have a way to charge it other than plugging in the charger it came with until this guy came along. This was new to me. My customer researched this, found it. We welded up a bracket that holds it, so it can be turned depending where the dock site is. It can be completely removed as well. And it's got a quick plug right here. Just like we do for trolling motors, we've got a quick plug. If you're interested in stuff like this for your boat, for trolling motors or a charging unit like this, send me an email. We'll have them on our website soon enough. But these are things that we bend and weld up right here to fit these types of fittings. We can just plug that in, turn on the charger, it's gonna charge the battery. And then when we take the boat out, we want this off the boat. We're just gonna pull it right out. The wire's all nice and concealed there, and we can get rid of it. You're left with a little mount here, but out of the way, not anywhere anybody's gonna step anyway. The reason we need that charger is for the 24 volt battery, like I mentioned, and that brings us to our trolling motor. This is an 80-pound Tarova from MinnKota. It is a 24 volt trolling motor. We did the lithium, it only weighs like 40 pounds. So it doesn't add a ton of weight versus the dual battery system and the lead acids or AGM. But this is what we did to make this possible. You haven't seen this from us before because we've never done it. This is a door from Pontoon Stuff. It's the 30-inch door designed for this full 20-foot railing kit. Door's gonna swing open. That's gonna allow me to bring the trolling motor down, deploy it, close the door, and then with my remote, I can operate this from anywhere in the boat. It's got spot lock for anchoring. It's got jog mode. It's got all the features you would want. And this thing makes this more than just a pontoon boat. This puts it right up there with a lot of fishing boats, but then we also have the big open platform and the seating you'll see in a second. When we're done fishing, pop our door open, stow the trolling motor, close it back up. And this was requested specifically to avoid having little kids, having to keep the door open. But you'll see this on a lot of fishing model pontoons. I just want to show you this is possible. I didn't have to weld at all to do this, by the way. I was able to cut my pieces. I did leave this full length to keep the hinge nice and strong, but we cut and capped it. And then we cut, I actually just used a razor blade, just my box cutter here. I scored the aluminum. I was able to bend it, break it free, put a little trim cap in. Turned out really, really nice. And then our last thing on the front of the boat for fishing or just hanging out is that MinnKota Deckhand 40. Cool thing is I can operate this right here if I'm standing in the boat, or I can operate it from up here at the captain's helm. Either one. Walking around, this is the full sun deck kit, which leaves us with no stern entry door on the starboard side like those stern entry kits. This is the cool thing about these railing kits. I get to decide where I put a door. In this case, we've got a nice little access door. There's a spot for a swim ladder too, but this gives us that starboard entry behind the captain's chair, easy in and out, just in case they're docked somewhere that they need to exit this side of the boat, because we omitted a door farther forward on the starboard side. Brand new 75 horse Suzuki, 4-stroke fuel injected. This is maxing out the horsepower on this boat. It's gonna scoot right along. I'm guessing low 20s, maybe 25 mile an hour with a couple people in the boat. We've got our live well pump here that's gonna fill the live well. We'll show you that in a second. Fish finder transducer, everything nice and clean up under the pontoon. Let's jump in, show you the inside. Most of the items here, all of our core items, the seats, these are luxury seats from pontoonstuff.com, our helm, stereo, gauge panel, switch panel, all of that, the flooring, the vinyl floor, this is the teak and tan. They're all available at pontoonstuff.com. Go down to the link in this video in the description. You can click my link, go shop, it'll save you 5%. Go check them out. You can outfit your boat however you want. This is a unique setup for seating, but it's gonna work really well for this customer. This is something that I don't think people realize. Look at these seats. These are from bassboatseats.com. I've been pushing them to get these on the Pontoon Stuff website. Hopefully you'll see them there soon. They use the same vinyls that they're using on these luxury seats, but in a fishing seat. So we can match everything up really, really nice. These are the luxury beige and tan bench seats, and this is a beige and tan fishing seat. This is a low back on a pedestal, so I can sit here, run my trolling motor, cast, fish, or just relax, because they are very comfortable. That trolling motor, this is a larger plug-in here for our MinnKota, so if we want to take this off the boat, we can unplug that. And again, this is something we can ship to you preset with all the components to do that MinnKota quick connect for your trolling motor or your anchor winch. This is the changing room that easily just velcros up on your Bimini top from Pontoon Stuff, and actually quite spacious in there. You want to change after a long day, maybe use the little porta potty. This is a very affordable, easy option to fit up, and it doesn't have to be a Pontoon Stuff Bimini. This will work on any Bimini, even if you've got your factory Bimini still on your boat. And if you're taller than 5'7", it's even easier. 8 foot wide, 10 foot long Bimini. This is the universal Bimini. We've got a video on how to install the Bimini. Didn't do it on the universal yet, but we'll get that video up soon. So this will work on an 8 or an 8.5 foot wide boat, 10 foot of coverage, lots of space underneath for those fair skinned folks like Marty.
Yes, give me the shade.
Folds back quick and easy, even just by myself there. We'll put the boot cover on before we head out. But now you can see these seats better in the light. 38-inch bench seat with a live well inside. And this is one of those things, if you're setting up your boat with LEDs under the seat, I strongly recommend. We snuck another LED inside of the seat. There's one underneath the front as well. Something really cool, glow that live well, or you can use that insert as a cooler too. Works for that, but nice little ambiance. This is one of those things, we took a risk. We go on Amazon, we find the best reviewed color changing LEDs. Lots of options with these. You can even set it to go to the beat of the music. Really, really cool. But there isn't an option for color changing LEDs out there that's been like blowing people away in terms of quality. We've done these before, and here's the kicker. Make sure your control box, where everything plugs together and this sends signal to, make sure that's high and dry. It cannot be underneath the boat. In this case, it's under the console, and it's actually up on top of the ridge inside of the console where it can never get wet. Other than that, this is great. It works from all over my shop, so the reception's really, really good. But just know, if you're ordering online, this is the Op 7 kit. It comes with 4 LEDs. Be careful. I can't promise this is gonna last as long as the single color LEDs from Pontoon stuff. On the LED note, this is one that I do trust, and that's our side LEDs. If you peek over the side here, these are color changing. I can literally take them through every color on the rainbow, and then some, I think. So this is from Green Blob Outdoors. Their control pack that's gonna take the signal to here and put it out to the lights is very watertight. That's up underneath, on top of the pontoon. I'm not worried about that getting wet. It's got nice little O-rings, everything screws in and seals up very tight. Otherwise, underneath our 55-inch bench seat, we've got our lithium battery for the trolling motor. More storage here. Left lean back, lots of storage in there. We've got an armrest on the back here, and then a couple more. These are the high back versions of those forward fishing seats, and we put these on a little lower pedestal, made them a little bit more comfortable for cruising. Can absolutely still fish from here if you want to, but just a little more comfortable being the high back, a little more for lounging. We have a round table in the back, rectangle up front, and let's look at our sun deck enclosure to show you what's going on underneath here. We have a 15-gallon fuel tank with a water fuel separator. As a permanent tank, it's going to allow us to run a gauge, but you could totally do a 12-gallon tank with a gauge right on top of the tank. That would work too in that space. This cushion is just going to lift from the back side, and if you have something in front of this like a seat, it might not open all the way. That's okay. It's really just there to lift if the motor hits it. And on this side is our house battery and starting battery with a 4-position switch. But we could also store a whole bunch of life jackets on top in there as well. So it gives a lot of storage between the fuel tank area and this battery area. At the helm, kind of our standard. Switch panel, our gauges. We added in that fuel gauge as well. Little Garmin Striker 4 fish finder and a Bluetooth stereo. Thank you for watching. We're gonna get this boat out of here. Spring has sprung. We gotta get it home and on the water.